I've not recently had the opportunity to congratulate and, sing the praises of Giorgia Meloni, the newly elected Prime Minister of Italy, and she's doing a hell of a job, mostly because she's putting the fear of the Lord into the mass media. So I know, even though I don't know a bunch about her policies, I already know, based on the reporting, that she's probably the lady for the job if we're going to keep it a $1.50. Italy plans to allow unvaccinated healthcare workers to return to work because, when it comes to European countries that were hit the worst by tyrannical governments, it's kind of like a repetition of the past, okay? They were forced to stay in their homes. Oh, sure, there was a couple of those videos. Oh, look at all of those nice Italian people locked into their homes like, prisoners in cages. So they're out there singing the praises of the strong and powerful National Health Service, or whatever they would call it over there. I don't know, spaghetti and meatballs with the stethoscope. I don't fucking know. And then when everybody finally got allowed to leave their house, they couldn't really go many other places, okay, because they were one of the first places to enact the vaccine passport. Man, it's been a hot minute since I've ever had to say that, thankfully. And then they were really stringent and trying to push that, and then all of a sudden they're wondering why, oh my gosh, a lady who's so far right all of a sudden just swept parliament and then just came into a rousing majority. Who could have possibly seen that happen? Unfrickin' believable. Anyways, Italian healthcare workers who have been suspended for rejecting the vaccines will soon be able to return to work, the Europeans' top countries' health officials said on October 28th. Good, get all of this stuff figured out and then just work on some sort of Italiano Escucci, whatever the hell you want to call the equivalent of Brexit for our good old mafia related folks. Okay, the European Union is no longer a friend of ours. Orazio Scadici, who was appointed by Italy's newly formed ruling coalition to lead the Ministry of Health, said his administration is working on a measure that would reinstate unvaccinated doctors and nurses before the end of the year, 6 months after the I'll just stop. Suspension of the state of emergency and the consideration. 6 months after the state of emergency was suspended, and now you're just letting people. Okay, cool. Better late than never. Well, they just got power, so that makes sense. Okay, is this fascism? Yeah, I don't really think so. The level of in consideration the level of the coof contagion, whatever. Health Minister Orazio Scalacchi considers it necessary to initiate a progressive return to normality in activity and behavior based on criteria of responsibility and respect for laws in force, a statement on the ministry's website reads. Scalacchi also announced that the ministry will no longer provide a daily bulletin with the numbers of the infections. Good, that's worthless at this point in time. Do you want to list off how many people in the country have AIDS or herpes or anything like that? Because that would be just as useful and informative. Oh my god, this many people have runny noses. Oh my god, who cares at this point in time? Hospitalizations and deaths. Instead, that information will be updated on a weekly basis. Okay, cool. I guess for any of you morose and creepy motherfuckers wanting to keep a tab on that shit. The announcement, at least in part, is tied to the worrying shortage of medical personnel, according to the ministry. What was that? Okay, cool. You guys have to get the jab, otherwise you can't have a job. It's like, well, you guys can't have hospitals if you don't have doctors. Yeah, well, we'll show you. And it's like, guess what? New administration comes in and it's like, hey, guess what? We can't have hospitals without doctors. And meanwhile, all of the other doctors that are out there are like, yeah, we know. We were called heroes at one point in time, and now we're allowed to come back? Well, at least it's not the people that kicked us out, okay? At least we don't have to, suspend that much disbelief and come back. Makes a little bit more sense. Changes mark a departure from the policies of Scalacchi's predecessor, Roberto Speranza. It's so nice to see, a country that has traditionally their culture's names represented by the people that are supposed to be representing them. It's just nice to see. It's a little bit of a departure. No correlation to draw anywhere. No, okay, now you see a group of people coming together with a rich history and a strong streak of independence. Yeah, no, it's just saying that's nice. Who allowed hospital employers to suspend without pay any employee who refused to get vaccinated. But yeah, still, fuck that guy. Under Speranza and previous Prime Minister Mario Draghi, cunt, whose government imploded in the midst of an energy crisis and worsening economic outlook. Yeah, we like the WEF, and we are really like the European Union. We're gonna be regulating the cow farts. Why don't you turn up at the fucking the polls and vote for me? And the fuck is wrong with you? All public and private sector workers must get the COVID Green Pass before they go to work. Under Draghi's coalition, or his regime, whatever the fuck you want to call it, his Reich. I know, different country, but same policies. Italians who ignore the order and go to work without proof of vaccination or a negative test or recovery from the virus are suspended on no pay and fined up to 1,500 euros, which used to be 3 times that of the United States dollar, but now it's fucking even money because it's trash. It's fucking trash. The Green Pass policy was considered to be among the most restrictive in Europe. Yeah, and some places were like, wow, that seems tyrannical, and other places like France were like, we love it. We love it. Come over here. Come over here. Give us a version. We'll call it the Verde Pass. It'll be so much better. We are making these choices in order to restrict the unvaccinated as much as possible. Thank God. It's like, okay, cool. We're letting our people go. Okay, this is the emancipation cooflamation at this fucking point. As this is what is causing the burden on our hospital system. Yeah, exactly. Creating a bifurcated society. Wow. Imagine that. But hey, man. Okay, new Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni. Okay. It's weird to sing the praises of a woman, but every once in a while you see an exceptional individual and you got to give them their fucking flowers, and she totally deserves them in this situation. Has vowed not to inherit the Draghi's administration's pandemic response, saying that despite the harsh restrictions placed on the millions of citizens, the country nevertheless suffered the highest death and infection rates in Europe. Yeah, weird. Imagine that. But then you take a look at the underlying numbers. I know, look at me being a racist, looking at numbers and shit, okay? But the way that, theoretically, Italy's set up, it's one of the oldest populations in Europe. Traditionally, their homes are, a multi-generational, and they said that they had the highest infection and death rates. And what was the average age of somebody who died, or at least was attributed a death from the coof? Oh, in like their 80s. Oh, okay. Don't need the meme for that one. Okay. Something clearly didn't work there. Yep. And that's why I want to say that in no way will we imitate this model. Congratulations. You know what? Hey, fucking flowers where they're due. It's a great thing to see. It's wonderful to see somebody taking a look at their predecessor and realizing that, no, there's some course correcting that needs to be happening here. They voted for me for a reason, okay? And now, to just deviate that from a little bit, okay, it's nothing, like leading a country or anything like that, but our GDP is pretty close to that, and we got ourselves a brand new lady in charge, and doing a hell of a good job, guys, okay? There was a statement that she made. She was up at a podium. I forget exactly what speaking event it was, but some corrupt, stupid journalist in CBC or CTV asked her if she would be welcoming back, this was a few weeks ago, okay, welcoming back any of the unjabbed, okay, who got forced out of their positions because of the stupid vaccine mandates. And she's like, yeah, no, we totally, as a government, owe them an apology. And anybody that I can welcome back that's under my authority, they will be invited back to their, previous spot of employment. Is like, wow. Never would have got that from Kenny, okay? And I can't hold her accountable for any of that because theoretically, she's still not in the House of Commons in Edmonton, okay? She doesn't have a seat. She's still the premier. It's a fucking weird situation, but there's a couple of by-elections, and she'll pick one of them and then, just coast to an election victory, even though the polls are looking close. Oh, fuck off. There's supposed to be an election next year or some shit like that. It's going to be fucking easy sailing. Mark me down for that, unless she goes for a huge course deviation at this point in time, but she's a fucking keeper, okay? At least she's, maybe she's just speaking to me and a bunch of Albertans that think the way that I do, okay? Could be in an echo chamber or something like that, but for the first time in a long time, we have somebody who's reflecting the will of the people that aren't stuck in the cloister that is Edmonton. It's great to see. Hopefully she doesn't get corrupted by that environment. Alberta Premier Danielle Smith says she distrusts the World Economic Forum. A Canadian leader who doesn't suck the dick of Klaus Schwab. Province to cut ties. Oh, I just finished. Smith said she won't deal with the agency until they stop bragging about their control over politicians. You can take a look at who's signed up all willingly to the WEF, and you'll see the names of Chrystia Freeland. Oh, she's from this area of Alberta. I was born in the north, and raised in the States and live in the East. Yeah, but I'm from up here. I know that place, Peace Hill or Peace Crest, Peace. I took some pictures of Grand Prairie Town Hall. I don't know. And what, Trudeau? Yeah, of course. You no use hiding the fucking lair, burying the lead on that one, okay? He's the fucking poster boy. And if there was some sort of an opposition in Ottawa, man, he would be facing a similar fate, okay? Just getting fucking thrown out of the place. Not physically. Gotta throw in that caveat. Anyways, Alberta Premier. Okay, sorry. I was getting a little bit too excited calling her a Premier. Danielle Smith said that she is canceling a health consulting agreement involving the World Economic Forum, an agency at the center of global domination conspiracy theories. Well, are they conspiracy theories if they're right there on the website? Like the Great Reset and the list of all of the politicians that they have on there that sign up to all of their policies and how they want to make you eat the bugs and live in the pod and wear the jumpsuit? Is that really a conspiracy theory, or is it something that you can just, look outside and realize is getting put into practice? I'm just wondering, like, what are we ascribing a conspiracy through in today's day and age? Because she won't work with the group that talks about controlling governments. Yay, good. Throw that Alberta Sovereignty Act on top of this stuff and Alberta's gonna become fucking independent, and I love to see it at this point in time. I find it distasteful when billionaires brag about how much control they have over political leaders, reports the CBC through gritted teeth. Smith said in a news conference past Monday after her new cabinet was sworn in. This is offensive. The people who should be directing governments are the people who vote for them. Oh, and some outlets they have the audacity, including the CBC. What do they have here? Danielle Smith has a big idea to clean up oil and gas wells. It's all kind of messy. She would know. She's actually lived in the province for a long period of time. And guess what? There are so many environmental agencies. You want a cheap grift in Alberta? Just set up some sort of environmental gimmick or something like that. Just do well reclamations, okay? All of that shit is well fucking regulated. No pun intended. And guess what? All you need to do is just roll up real close to the side of the lease, sit in your pickup truck, punch some numbers into a fucking computer, lean over, just make sure that your hydrovac operator's doing a good enough job to expose the wellhead, and then just go, yep, thumbs up, and then just fucking leave. Oh yeah, make sure that you dump off all of the dirt that you sucked up at a contamination place. Just go to Secure Energy or some shit like that. Okay, been and done a whole bunch of that stuff. I've seen a whole bunch of environmental agencies, oh, they need to be on every site, okay? It's an easy fucking grift, okay? God, there's so much money. It falls out of the sky in the oil and gas industry. If governments would just get the fuck out of the way, things would be going faster. We wouldn't have any fucking shortages, but the government comes in and fucks everything up. And then when a woman wants to come into the big chair, okay, she wants to come in and she wants to, get rid of some of this regulation. Oh, then all of the people that are dependent on the government for a position decide to spurg out uncontrollably. How fucking rich. Quite frankly, until that organization stops bragging about how much control they have over political leaders, I have no interest in being involved with them. Man, she hasn't even been there for, like a month at this point in time, and she's already making more of an impact than Jason Kenney did over the 3 years that he was in charge. Unbelievable. United Conservative Party Premier said that she is in lockstep with federal conservative leader Pierre Poilievre, little French guy who I've got kind of a side eye on him at this point in time. I like some of his policies, but I don't forget that he never went down to, the Freedom Convoy event earlier this year, okay? He waited until everything was gone. He's like, hey, take a look around here. There is no trucks left. What the hell? What about our freedoms? It's like you could have went down there and, fucking rallied the troops for you, but you didn't want any of that smoke now, did you little fuck? A deal with Alberta Health Services sees the province share ideas with health researchers at Harvard University and Mayo Clinic under the forum's umbrella. Oh, yeah, I'm sure that's all it is. Oh, what? You don't want them to have the best research available? No, we don't want to be shackled to the WEF and their globalist policies. How about that? People at the whims of whatever ESG affiliated decisions end up enforcing on places. No, we don't want to be subject to that. It isn't as simple as sharing ideas with Harvard and Mayo Clinic, you fucking disingenuous cocksuckers. The high-profile conference of global political and business leaders. This is the glowing review. The WEF, Klaus Schwab, his conglomerate, his consortium of terrible, world-ending, country-dissolving ideas, okay? They're getting this, it's a high-profile conference of just everybody rubbing shoulders and exchanging ideas, okay? Ask Sri Lanka what they think about the WEF, ESG, and these globalist fucking policies, okay? Are they still rioting in the streets right now? And the CBC makes my fucking skin crawl. They're disgusting. A decade ago, was accused by the left wing of conspiring to cut pensions and slash environmental programs. Okay, cool. Well, they were fucking wrong about that. Became a focus of attacks from the right during the COVID-19 pandemic when it promoted a great reset, calling for ideas on how to better organize global society post-pandemic. What was their catchphrase again? It was pretty catchy. It was something along the lines of, you will own... what was it? Nothing, and you will tolerate, and you will like it. You will own nothing, and you will like it. Don't be so fucking disingenuous. It's still on the website if you want it up there, but enough about the CBC. But we got one more good thing about Danielle Smith right here, quickly becoming my favorite Canadian politician. Exploring legal steps to halt school mask mandates. I don't have a fucking horse in this race, but I hate it. I hate it whenever governments decide that they want to go in there and enforce their fucking political stratagems on the children, okay? I ain't got no kids. I ain't got a fucking dog in the race when it comes to the public school system. But mask mandates, I think the science is in on that one. And guess what? Survey says fucking bunk. Doesn't help a goddamn soul. So, if she's going to come in there and say, no, I don't want any of this stuff, okay, and I've got all the controls, okay, I can tell the AHS to go fuck their mother when it comes to enforcing this stuff or even recommending it, okay, I have the final say on this stuff. God fucking bless her. Her announcement comes days after the Court of King's Bench. That's our Supreme Court. Okay, yeah, I know it's all fucking weird. Anyways, used to be the Court of Queen's Bench, but you know, there was that thing that happened to Buckingham. Judge ruled the province acted unreasonably when it lifted a mask mandate for schools last winter. Yeah, because that really helped. How many kids died because of the? Oh wait, like none. Oh, okay, cool. Premier Danielle Smith announced Saturday that she is taking steps to ensure that there will be no more mask mandates in Alberta schools. Her announcement comes days after some judge thinks that he knows better. Okay, you acted unreasonably. The province has been challenged on the decision in courts of the families of the 5 immunocompromised children. Yes, everybody in the province of Alberta has to wear a mask because 5 kids can't deal. That's it. It's not like it's going to help them. In a statement released Saturday, Smith said her government will not permit any future mask mandates in Alberta's K-12 education system. Round of applause for the Queen of Alberta. The detrimental effects of masking on mental health, development, and education of children in classroom settings is well understood. Yeah, no, we've run the numbers on this one. We can fucking easily find it out again if you'd like. And we must turn the page on what has been an extremely difficult time for children. 3 school years have been interrupted. The 2019-2020 season, we're basically done. 2020, 2021, how much time was actually spent inside of a classroom? And you want to go in and you want to fuck up yet another one, just because you're big scared about a scratchy throat and a runny fucking nose? Go to hell, you controlling cocksuckers. If you want to continue to send your kid to school wearing a fucking mask, go for it. Just don't tell everybody else how they have to parent their kids, okay? Because you want to cut your kid's genitalia off or reverse it inside just so you can get some fucking social virtue points for yourself. Yeah, doesn't mean that everybody else has to adhere to your nonsense. Fucking monsters. Smith said that she would be directing the Justice Minister to examine whether or not the province should launch an appeal of Thursday's court decision. I would say so. She also said she has instructed the Minister of Justice, Health and Education to look into any legislative or regulatory changes that may be necessary to reaffirm or clarify the government's full authority with respect to this and other health and education matters. Fucking based. Postmedia reached out to the Premier's office with multiple questions, including what studies or research she was citing on the detrimental mental health effects of masking, and if a ban on mask mandates would apply to private schools. She can't control the fucking public schools, you mongoloid. Jesus Christ, that's why they're private to begin with. Mental health? Oh, I don't know. Here, just send them my channel and just ask them to go through the fucking Stand Up Against Mask Mandates playlist. There's plenty of fucking studies that are in there. I'm not going to waste anybody's additional time, okay? I'm out here praising some good women for the fucking change. Even though I've kind of been doing that for, politicians that I actually appreciate, like Tulsi Gabbard, Carrie Lake, Danielle Smith. The list is pretty short, but you know what? Hey, even for, male politicians that I like, that list ain't much fucking longer. Let's keep it a buck. Ron DeSantis, that's about it. Okay, Ron DeSantis is 75% of Rand Paul. Okay, Trump isn't even fucking elected at this point in time. Okay, it's actually you take a look at that, man. I'm way harder on a motherfucker than I am on a bitch. Okay, let's just fucking get that straight. So yeah, you don't have to ask her to fucking disprove something. You're a journalist, cocksucker, and it's not like you're too fucking busy, okay? I know that you all get subsidized by the federal government, okay? CTV, CBC, Post Media, all of the fucking outlets all get paid to the tune of fucking billions of Canadian taxpayer dollars. So of course, anybody who wants to shrink the government, curtail the powers of the government, especially the ones that they have achieved over the past 3 goddamn fucking years, you know that they're going to be going hard in the paint against them. So we'll see where the people go. We'll see if they go away from Danielle Smith, if they want to embrace the full-on retardation, okay? If they want to run back the 4 failed fucking years of Rachel Notley's NDP, which that cunt didn't have the audacity or at least the fucking self-awareness to step down after she had a fucking majority in this, provincial house, okay? And then ended up getting absolutely blasted, had her fucking back blown out in the subsequent election. And then she still stayed in control because, I don't know, did she run back the old fucking Jeremy Corbyn argument? We lost the battle, but we won the war. At least we still have the we won the moral victory. It's like, bitch, you're a fucking soft commie. Get the fuck out of here. You got your politics from your old man who is an out and open socialist, okay? You know how I know that? I'll tie this back with the fucking reference that you never thought you would have been getting, okay? Remember Jordan Peterson? Of course you do. He's still out there in the public. He's still doing his thing or whatever, okay? He grew up about an hour and change north of where I live right now, okay? I've been here since 96, practically fucking born and raised here. But even still, he grew up Fairview, Alberta, an hour and change the other side of me up north a little bit, okay? He tells a story about going over to his neighbor's house, reading a book a day, okay? Just going back there, getting real tight with them, and then growing up in a political system that was the NDP. Now you're seeing the connection right there. And the person that he learned with, okay, the person that he started to grow distrustful because he didn't like the upper echelons of the party. He liked the people, okay? He was a people person. And the person, okay, the mentor that was out there, the person that he thought was good and then realized that, oh fuck, the politics was just all about power. Oh yeah, that was Rachel Notley's fucking father, okay? So anybody who's in the know about the situation knows that the Notley family are fucking garbage people. Never, ever, ever should be allowed back into power, okay? And guess what? If Danielle Smith continues to make these fucking decisions, oh that bitch, oh she'll be out on her ass, and I can't wait to sit there and fucking applaud it. Fuck her. And here's to some better female leaders. How about that? With all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.